Sonic Boom, 2 out of 10.
Gameplay was clunky.
Unfinished mess.
Why are they ruining Sonic?
That's just the beginning of Sonic Boom's problems, however.
Whew. I'm really dizzy.
Hey, you've been staring at that wall for like 10 minutes.
No, sorry, Cardboard Silver. I'm just troubled by the dislike aimed towards Sonic Boom Rise of Lyric. It digs into my soul and prevents me from feeling happiness because I'm such a deep, complicated person.
Really?
Nah, actually I'm pretty simple and chill. But my days of analyzing this game are done.
Oh?
I've done my time trying to seem like a positive person while constantly looking at this game, which is pretty much just like an ocean overflowing with ocean gunk. Chalk that up with Peter Knetter's other greatest analogies of all time. But anyway, we're not going to be criticizing the game at all in this video.
What? But that's impossible! You can't make a video about Sonic Boom Rise of Lyric without saying anything bad and still keep a good reputation. The game itself is bad, so if you look at the game, you're looking at bad either way. It's just no use.
Ah, but you underestimate the power of thinking positive. If we just steer clear of everything negative about the game, we won't have to look at any displeasing aspects whatsoever through the entire video. You're mad. No. I'm happy. This is my happy face. Yes, guys, we're looking at what I suppose brought my channel to life. Sonic Boom. It was more the cartoon that got me my first audience with my Let's Watches and YTPs, but this game was one of the first ones that I did a Let's Play of, and technically it did spawn the Sonic Boom series. If I took a survey, I bet 60% of everybody watching this video right now discovered my channel from a Sonic Boom video I did. So I do owe a lot to this game. So today I'm going to give this game and Sonic Boom the best gift I can give it, which is making a video about it without actually mentioning the negativities.
So pretty much you're gonna give it a blank video.
Yes, aren't you helpful? Honestly, I feel like I'm trying to jump in a pool without getting wet, and why do I keep using water analogies? Let's let the fun begin. So the game begins by saying, hey! Sonic dies later on in the game. Now you have to play through the whole thing. The first images we get when playing this game is this scene where Sonic appears to get killed, and then it just says, yesterday. And honestly, it feels like when you see a video on YouTube about some kid getting trolled on Call of Duty or GTA, and the video starts off with the creator saying, hey, I had to make this video at least 10 minutes long, but the part where the kid freaks out is at the end, so don't leave even though the bulk of the video is really lame. Also, I guess I'm British. Okay. To be honest, this scene actually kind of does the opposite for me, though. What's this? Sonic dies? Sonic dies? Okay. Alright, the end. No, we played the game. That's fine. You can tell us the ending. I didn't want to play the game anyway. No, why would I buy a game to play a game? Spend $60 on this thing. Quite literally. The back is coming off this. No, I didn't want to play a game, though. No, that's fine. Here, Silver. Why don't you play the game, alright? Because I don't need to play this game. Nah, I didn't come here to play video games. I didn't start up my Wii, turn on my gamepad, put the game in so I could play. No. Why would I want to do that? Be stupid. Stupid. Yeah, I know, there's nothing going on here. I blame production. But hey, let's move on before I say that this is a dumb way to start the game, because I'm not saying that it is. Or that it isn't. Please continue.
Well, you managed to look at one part of the game without criticizing it or the universe exploding.
Of course, all I need to do is not focus on one part of the game for more than a minute. It's easy. So yesterday, Sonic and his gang are chasing Eggman for no real reason, and they fight and stuff, and that's cool, but can we maybe go farther back in time so we can see why the heck do they all look like this? Oh sure, Sonic dies, then we go back in time like, and here's how this whole crazy situation came about. But how did this whole crazy situation come about? Why does Knuckles look like he used a sandwich power-up from Castle Crashers? Why is Eggman in seriously pretty good shape, and why are they all wearing bandages? We need answers! Now, to prevent this issue from actually being something negative about the game, I provided my own backstory to give some closure on all these questions. Once upon a time, Sonic and all his pals lived on Earth, like in Sonic Adventures and stuff. But then the apocalypse happened, and there were zombies, cause, seriously, why wouldn't there be zombies? And the zombies destroyed everyone. But somehow Sonic and his pals were able to survive, sustaining only minor flesh wounds, which was of course no problem, because they had bandages, so that explains that part. They all headed to a distant island that the zombies couldn't reach, cause water, I guess. So they got to the island and found it was inhabited by primitive morons and by Eggman, who had a vacation house there that he visited from time to time for a while. And he also got in shape, but all he really did was hang upside down for a while, so all his body fat shifted to his upper body. So now they spend the rest of their days on an island, waiting for the apocalypse to end. And Knuckles is just really dumb because he took his brains out and used them to stuff his arms. All has been explained. So the rest of this game's story is pretty much exactly something that you've heard a million times. Ancient evil thing wakes up and wants revenge and to take over the world, and heroes have to stop it by working together and learning to be friends and more stuff and things like that. And then they win. And that's it. Or is it? Let's make things even more cliché by adding a cliffhanger where a secondary villain inherits real villain's power, and then we just have to wait for the sequel. Rise of Lyric 2, Rise of Eggman. Because he was sleeping, but then he rose up in the morning. So yeah, the title works. One thing I will say though is that this game is a prequel to the cartoon, in which Eggman has the evil button on his arm, showing that it takes place afterwards. So what does he do with it? What is his evil plan that was foreshadowed in the ending of Rise of Lyric? What was the real ending to this game? Well, he basically uses it for the same things he always does with his other buttons. It's just a remote. Cliffhanger over. So that's your goal in the game, stop an ancient evil lizard man. In order to do this, you take part in many different gameplay styles, and genres, including arcade-style shooting, platforming, and running like in past Sonic games. But most of the gameplay is what I call child marketing appeal gameplay. This is the very reason for Sonic Boom's existence, to make a game that appeals to children more than past games by having a child-familiar gameplay. And a cartoon. You see this all the time in games like Skylanders, the LEGO games, and most other series that are mainly aimed towards kids. This gameplay style is as follows. Go forward, fight enemies, doors open, walk forward, hit buttons. Go forward, fight enemies, door opens, walk forward, hit buttons, fight enemies, door opens. Platforming, fight enemies, go forwards, push buttons, dodge obstacles, more enemies, more button turning on, activating, pulling, pushing, fighting the boss, and then level complete. Now in LEGO games the puzzles are fun, and are rarely the same. The combat is fun and cool looking, and they always had fun things along the way, like vehicles, weapons, and tons of secrets. With Skylanders you get combat upgrades, tons of collectibles, and varied objectives and gameplay. Sonic Boom is more like doing the same thing over and over, and then doing more of that. Very few secrets, very few things are multiple choice, combat is all the same throughout the game, and you only get 4 characters, something you simply need to change for this kind of gameplay to be fun. LEGO games and Skylander games have tons and tons of characters. Sure, some of them are very similar or the same, but they're all somewhat different as well, and that is something that you need for this kind of gameplay to be fun. Sure, Sonic Boom is doing the same things over and over again, but what if you had like 50 characters to play as? Hey, all of a sudden doing the same things over and over again and again isn't doing the same things over and over again and again because you have different characters. Some jump better or fight better, or some are faster, some are slower, some are more powerful, and they make things different even if they're the same. It's little things like that that can make this kind of gameplay fun.
Well, the gameplay may not do what it should, but that doesn't necessarily mean that the gameplay is bad. Does it? I think it kinda does.
Nah, I may never have said it's good, but I sure did not say it was bad. Did I? I think I did. It's really hard to keep track of these things. I think my microphone may have stopped recording.
Hey, I know. Why not list your top 10 favorite things about this game?
I don't know if I have favorite things about
Okay, then make up a list. You're on the verge of seeming negative.
Oh yes, right. Of course, I have a list. Favorite things I like about this game. This game has plenty of positives about it. My brain hurts. Did they been in the video yet? I'm not doing anything. Just don't move when they leave.
I can't move anyway.
Shh! Number 1. The graphics aren't too great, but the way that the characters move is very smooth and animated, and the facial expressions are really expressive for lack of a better word. Number 2. Although not all characters play the same, they control well for the most part, and platforming can be actually kind of fun. Number 3. Speaking of platforming, Amy segments, which require platforming and landing on thin ledges, is very smooth and easy to get good at. Number 4. Despite the dumbed-down graphics, the game's worlds are heavily decorated, and there are so many plants, rocks, and details that the worlds really feel alive. Number 5. The game's cutscenes have a more appealing humor. Ever since Sonic Colors, Sega has tried to make the dialogue more natural and comedic, but it did still always come across as somewhat childish at times. This game has tried a different style of humor, and even though it's not always hilarious, it seems more appealing to different ages. Number 6. Eggman is hilarious, and more likable than normal. enough said, he's just fantastic. Number 7. One of the game's mechanics has you running on water, and it controls and feels just like classic Sonic 3D running levels, and more precisely very similar to Sonic Unleashed, which I like quite a bit. Number 8. The entire game is local multiplayer. In a time when so many game series are moving on to online only, this is really refreshing. Halo 5, you got rid of split screen, and now Sonic Boom did something better than you. Who would have guessed? Number 9. Spoiler attack. Sonic doesn't die. I know they made it seem like he did, which is dumb, but honestly, they could have made him die, and they could have had this whole fan-servicey, cringy story thing, but they knew when to take it easy and not do anything too crazy. So you didn't make another Sonic 06. Well done. Number 10. Best thing about this game? The hub worlds. There's a nice amount of them, and they're more interactive than Sonic Adventure, and more varied than Sonic 06. Overall, just having fun in the hub worlds and playing the side quests is the best thing about this game in my opinion, and I hope more Sonic games can do the same.
Well, you did it. You looked at the game without saying any negative things about it.
No, it cannot be done. Even while saying the good things about this game, there's no way to avoid criticizing it. Even saying the good things about this game start with the phrase, despite being lame, or even though one thing stinks, and it's just the way that things have to be. I want to be as positive and as fair as I can, but if I don't recognize this game's failures as often as they come up, then why mention the good things at all? If a reviewer tries to ignore the bad things about a game, even if they previously acknowledged them, how will the reviewer know if the good things are really any good? Every good game is only good because it's better than a lot of other games. If every game was done well, but all other games were done just as good, then would it still be considered a good game? Maybe, but it really wouldn't be anything special. That's why a game like Super Mario Galaxy and Ocarina of Time, for example, are seen as such masterpieces. There aren't many games as enjoyable as those two fantastic installments, but that doesn't just make them good, it also makes them special and unique. Part of what gives them value is the fact that there aren't so many games that are that good. It's like an expensive jewel. Jewels and valuable metals aren't just valuable because of their beauty, but also because of how rare they are. Galaxy and Ocarina are good games no matter what, but they aren't special unless there are tons of bad or mediocre games to compare them to. In each game individually, it's the same thing. Every game has good and bad inside of it, and Sonic Boom is no different. Most of the game is not done too well, but that just gives the good things more value, more reason to point them out, even if it doesn't make the game any better. So if I just talked about the good things in the game, it wouldn't mean much, unless I can say why they're highlights and why they stand out, by mentioning the bad.
In that case, by accidentally mentioning the bad parts of the game, you've made a more positive video than if you just ignored the bad stuff altogether.
True. I think I finally repaid this game for helping me get my channel off the ground. Thank you, Sonic Boom. But would it have hurt? Like seriously, for you to be a better game, it'd be a lot easier to thank you.
You know, this reminds me, Sonic 06 is turning 10 years old.
You don't say.
And that was the game that I debuted in.
I don't like where you're going with this.
Maybe I'll make a video to say thanks for the game. I did want to make a video saying why it's the best Sonic game anyway.
No! Stop it! Enough! Don't do that!
I thought you wanted to seem positive.
Alright, fine. Make that video. I will have no part of it.
So you're fine with it?
Yes, I mean, I guess it does have some good things that should be pointed out.
Oh, cool. But can I upload it to your channel? You drew me up around a month ago, so technically I'm not old enough to start a YouTube page.
Na 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 na. Why?
Hey guys, Peter here. I really hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, let me know why or how I can improve. If you think this video is worthy, sharing it to your social medias would be muchly appreciated. If you're new to the channel, I upload new videos like this almost every day, so feel free to subscribe if you're interested in that sort of thing. Have yourselves a wonderful day, and I leave you with this music from my channel's music provider, DJ BassFox28. You can check out his channel in the description or by clicking the annotation to the left.